saw a picture of this jellyfish, and it reminded me of Manchester United. Spineless. Welcome to Finding Glory. Manchester United, a club with a rich history, legendary players and a trophy cabinet most clubs could only dream of. But in recent years, let's be honest, there's been a struggle. So my challenge, take Manchester United back to the top of English and European football. Now before we've kicked a ball, I had some work to do in the transfer market. My first decision as Manchester United's manager was to bring back Jadon Sancho from loan. I wanted more attacking options, and Sancho gives us that creativity and flair on the wings. It just made sense to have him back in the squad. But I also knew that we needed reinforcements. My first signing was Rodrigo Bentancur from Spurs. Why? Because I felt our midfield lacked the kind of strength and aggression that he brings. He's a ball winner, a hard worker, and exactly what I needed in the centre of the park. Next up, I wanted a little bit of pace off the bench, a player who could come on and change the game. Enter Leon Bailey. Quick, direct, and a real threat on the counter-attack. I felt he could be an excellent impact sub. Now for my final signing, well, let's call this one a panic buy. I needed cover for Bruno Fernandes, and with limited time and budget, I brought in Rafael Viega for just 8 million. If it works out, great. If not, no big deal. I went with a 4-3-3 system to keep things balanced in attack and defence. If you want to see the full tactical breakdown, the link to the tactic video is in the description below. But essentially, this setup gives us a strong midfield base while allowing our attacking players to be creative and expressive. So with the squad ready, it was time for our first competitive test against none other than our noisy neighbours Manchester City in the Community Shield. And let's be honest, what a better way to lay down a marker than beating them to our first piece of silverware. It was a tight, tense affair, both teams had chances, but neither could find the breakthrough in normal time. That meant one thing: penalties, and under the Wembley lights in our first game of the season, we held our nerve and came out on top, a trophy in our very first game. First Premier League game of the season was at home against Bournemouth, and let's be honest, there's no better way to get the fans on side than kicking off with a big win, and that's exactly what we did. We put on a dominant display, smashing Bournemouth 5-0. Goals coming from Jadon Sancho, I knew recalling him was a genius move, De Ligt, Harry Maguire, Bruno Fernandes and Rasmus Højlund. A perfect way to start our league campaign. As our Premier League season continued with strong performances, our attention shifted to the first Europa League fixture against Sparta Prague. We kept the momentum going with a solid 2-0 win, thanks to goals from Diallo and Joshua Zirkzee. Games were coming thick and fast, and maintaining our form was key. One of our biggest early tests came when we travelled to face Spurs. Keeping our good run of form was vital, and we did just that, securing a 3-1 win. Jadon Sancho grabbed a brace, Garnacho found the net, and Pedro Porro got a consolation goal for Spurs. And then came one of the biggest games of the season, Manchester United versus Liverpool, a fixture filled with history, rivalry, and in recent years, humiliation. United fans won't need reminded of the painful defeats at the hands of our biggest rivals. Liverpool had been handing out beatings, but today was about revenge. And revenge was exactly what we got. A dominant 3-0 victory. Rafael Viega, the man we bought in for just 8 million, finally scored a goal, which was worth every penny. Fernandes and Bentancur also got goals which helped seal the win, a huge statement in our title charge. We were now on an unbeaten run in the league, and suddenly something special seemed possible. Only one team in history had gone unbeaten in the Premier League season, the legendary Arsenal Invincibles. Could we be next? To achieve invincibility, we needed big moments from big players. Enter Kobbie Mainoo. With seconds left on the clock against Chelsea, we needed a goal to keep the unbeaten run alive, and in the 93rd minute, Mainoo delivered, a 1-1 draw that kept the dream alive. Then came another huge game, Arsenal, a team that knew all about going unbeaten, but we showed them who was boss, winning 3-0 with goals from Garnacho, Zirkzee and Leon Bailey. Speaking of Bailey, he had been proven to be an incredible signing, contributing way more than I thought he would have done. And our European campaign was also going well, finishing top of our group after a 2-1 win against, I don't know how to pronounce that, thanks to goals from Zirkzee and Bailey. We were looking strong in every single competition. Back to the league, another massive fixture awaited, Manchester City at Old Trafford, and yet again we delivered, winning 3-1 with goals from De Ligt, Højlund and Sancho. The Red Half of Manchester was well and truly on top. And it wasn't just in the league we were dominant, we also stormed through the Carabao Cup, thrashing Coventry City 5-2 in the semi-final, with goals from Ugarte, Viega, Højlund, Mount and Maguire. This set up a final against our City rivals. Manchester City. A tense, hard-fought battle, but we came out on top with a 1-0 win thanks to Ahmed Diallo. That meant we had secured our second trophy of the season, adding the Carabao Cup to our Community Shield win. But we weren't done yet. Now, when the January transfer window came around, I was hoping to strengthen the squad even further. There was one problem: I had no money to spend, so we had to make do with what we had and push on with the squad already in place. Now, you know me, I'm a Sheffield Wednesday fan, and you'll understand just how satisfying this next result was. An FA Cup tie against Sheffield United, and we absolutely battered them 7-0. Nothing quite like embarrassing your rivals. And as we progressed in Europe, we faced Spurs in the Europa League semi-finals, and we brushed them aside, winning 4-1, thanks to goals from Bruno, Diallo, Bailey, and Bailey once again proving to us that he can be a game changer. And then it was the biggest game of the season, away at the Etihad, a chance to secure the Premier League title and go unbeaten. My plan was simple: show the world who was the biggest club in England. And what a game it turned out to be. We won an absolute thriller 4-3. Fernandes, Diallo and Højlund, and in the dying moments, Casemiro writ himself into Manchester United history, netting the winner. Gundogan, Haaland and Grealish all scored for City, but it didn't matter. We had done it. We were invincible Premier League champions. And we still weren't finished. One more game to cap off a legendary season, the Europa League final against Lazio. And we finished it in style, winning once again 4-3, with a brace from Leon Bailey and a goal from Mason Mount and Joshua Zirkzee. And with that, our first season ended with 4 trophies: the Community Shield, the Carabao Cup, an invincible Premier League trophy, and the Europa League. A truly incredible season. But we're not done. For next season, the target is clear: the FA Cup and the Champions League. Can we complete the full set? Make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and let me know in the comments which team you want to see me take on next in Finding Glory. And until next time, thank you for watching.